All right, all right, all right, all right. Hello, everybody up in the house. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. All right, work with me. What's up, y'all? It's DJ Jerica. Welcome to this live stream of the DJ Jerica podcast. I know usually the setup on here is pretty much me talking like pre-recorded and everything else, but I've decided to try something different to increase the interaction with my viewers. And eventually I'll go back to the pre recorded stuff when it comes to my podcast. But I wanted to change it up and have more of a discussional type of podcast thing where I interact with my viewers and ask you guys certain questions in regards to certain events that's going on. Just to make sure I stay in the know in the things that's going on. So today we're talking about Monique. Okay, Monique is tired of you. Okay, and this is for all the black women out there, all my sisters out there. Monique is tired of you walking out the house with your hair bonnet on and your pajamas and your slippers, across the globe. Okay, now according to Monique, when she walks outside and she goes to LAX, when she goes to the airport in Atlanta, every time she's out, she sees black women in their pajamas and their hair bonnets when she's preparing to take her flights. And she said that she sees them everywhere nowadays in the malls, in the grocery stores, at the parks, y'all. Like, it's just a lot of women running around here with like zero pride in themselves. So Monique is, calling women out, black women out, in regards to a lot of y'all coming out, looking a mess with hair bonnets on. Now, when we talking about hair bonnets, we're not talking about like, hats or fashionably wear dress type of thing. We're talking about, she's talking about the typical hair bonnet. Y'all know what it is. If y'all part of the black community, y'all know what it is. And, this leads to me to a bigger question and make me wonder and ask ladies out there, why are so many of you guys mad at Monique for trying to encourage you guys to dress better, to present yourself in a better way? I know that when it comes to women and black women in general, oftentimes it feels like everyone is trying to police us as black women on how we're supposed to be about our femininity, stuff like that. But what I can say is I do agree with Monique in regards to black women in their presentation. But I also want to add in, I get tired of seeing black men as well coming out looking a hot mess. So I feel like this is a community problem. You know what I'm saying? There's so many black people, whether it's men or women, coming out the house looking unkept, looking unclean, looking like they just literally rolled out of bed, looking like they haven't even thought about touching a sink in water in a very long time. And if you say something to them, they try to say, oh, you play a hating, or I'm trying to embrace my what they call it, Afrocentricness or whatever. But there's two different things about you embracing your natural look and you just naturally walk around here looking unclean and unkept. Okay. And prime example, people will say, if someone is dreadhead, I'm a dreadhead. This is all 100% my natural hair. They'll say that dreadheads don't look like, they're clean and stuff like that, right? And, that is furthest from the truth, right? There's some people who don't understand the culture of dreads, who makes comments and stuff like that are ignorance based and stuff like that because they're not a part of Black culture, which is understandable. But at the same time, there are people who, really just look like they didn't even care to even wash their ass in the morning. It's people that come outside, and this ain't even about judging. It's just, if you are part of the Black community, you care about your people and how they present themselves out in public, and particularly with Black women. And, as I've gone through the world, I travel a lot, and I've noticed in particular a lot of Black women coming out the house looking unkept, looking unclean, even having their babies and their kids coming out looking the same way. And it makes me wonder, like, what's really going on in the Black community for so many Black women to feel like it's okay to really come out the house in pajamas, to really roll out of bed, and just keep it moving. Like, are you depressed? Is it a mental illness thing? I feel like in the black community, a lot of people don't want to address mental illness, and that could be a big factor with your outside presentation. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when they say, oh, when you ugly inside, you ugly outside. You know what I'm saying? It makes me wonder, like, if a lot of the women that are walking outside, looking unkept, looking unclean, and even the men that's coming out here looking unkept, looking unclean, don't look like they shaved themselves in like 20 years, don't look like they bathed in like 2-3 months. Are they? Is this them trying to be fashionable? Is this them trying to express themselves, or is it that a lot of them are depressed and they just don't even feel like getting up, let alone leaving the house? So they just say fuck it. You know what I'm saying? They just say, you know, who really cares about me? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna play the video, Monique, and then I'm gonna try to dissect it more, and discuss it and give y'all my opinions on the situation, and how I feel about Monique's statements. You feel me? And this ain't a thing where I'm sitting here trying to drag black women. I'm a black woman myself, but I do want to talk about to the sisters out there, and basically just try to be of a help and support. And I am on Monique's side to encourage you ladies to try to dress better and do better. You feel me? Because you are a representation of not only yourself but your kids. You're the representation of all black people, and it's hard enough out here, man. Just try to look like you care about yourself, and if not, if you feel like you're mentally not well, instead of spending your money on going to clubs and turning up and getting effed up, try to look into some mental health classes, going to counseling. It's a lot of different ways for you to possibly get help if you are going through a mental crisis and you feel like you're depressed, you feel this or feel that. You know what I mean? It's just something that we just seem as a black community just sweep under the rug. And it's a reason why a lot of these women are out here looking the way that they're looking. But people don't want to discuss that and have that conversation. So I'm going to play this, you know what I'm saying, what Monique is saying on Instagram. And I want you guys to listen clearly, you know what I'm saying, hear what she's saying. And then I'm going to come back and discuss how I feel about it. All right, stick with me.
Say because I want to make sure I'm not saying it in judgment, and I want to make sure I'm saying it from a place of love. Y'all, some of y'all have given me the title of auntie, and I'm honored that y'all do that, right? But there are times where auntie got to talk to her babies and say some real shit. So yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta because I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now at Chuckles Comedy Club, right? And we got 3 shows tonight. We got a matinee at 5:30, then we got 7, then we got 10, right? And I'm excited. I always love going to the stage. So when we got to the airport yesterday, I was excited, like, all right, baby, let's go get them in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count, and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, so many pajamas, our young sisters, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and these slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves? When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home?
Hello?
Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair? And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough shit out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride, but the representation that you're showing, someone would have to ask you, to know that you had it. So, my sweet babies, for the ones that do call me auntie, I love you for real. Even the ones that don't, I love y'all asses too. But the babies that say auntie to me, please listen to auntie. Always have pride in your representation of you. It's not to get a man, it's not, it is just your representation of you, my sweet babies. So I'm just giving y'all a warning. If I see you in the streets, in the airport, in the Walmart, and you got a bonnet on, and you got slippers on, and you looking like what the fuck, I need you to tap you and say, hey baby girl, show you what you worth. Show you what you deserve. So all of those posts that you see celebrities putting out there saying, hey queen, hey queen, hey queen, well, can we start putting it into action? So I'm asking our wiser sisters, when we see our little babies out there, they just don't care. And I'm not saying y'all don't. It looks like it. Can we just tap them and say, baby girl, you deserve more than you show. Represent you with pride, my babies. And that may be a part of us helping our community. Because if you look like you don't give a damn, why you want to be true? So when I say hey queen, I can only say it to the sisters that it belongs to. Because a lot of us are still in queen training. So if you're a queen training, stop being fearful of taking the position. And queens are queens and headstones and slippers and pajamas. That's for the house. When you go outside, represent you like you're going to run. You deserve the type of angry. I need you love y'all for real. And I ain't never going to BS you. Stop wearing them damn bonnets and head scarves, looking like don't nobody give a damn about you, nor you give a damn about yourself. You're beautiful. So represent. I love y'all for real, my babies. Hey, my sweet.
So that's what she had to say to the ladies out there that be, wearing them headscarves and bonnets and stuff like that. Look, like I said before, there's nothing wrong with having a day where you just, you don't feel like doing your hair, you don't feel like certain things, but there's so many different ways that you can style yourself to still look presentable. There's stylish scarves that you could put on. There's stylish hats that you could put on. You guys know me. I love my different type of hats. That's just me personally. I love my dreads. I love to wear hats. That's my style. But to just flat out leave the house in pajamas, just flat out leave the house, in a bonnet, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, why is there so many black women that it's specifically in America that has a tendency to just seem like they just don't give a damn who sees them and why. It's like, yeah, some people I know some people that literally will walk out the house like that and they be like, well, I don't care. I'm not trying to get no man. I'm not trying to, but it ain't even like that. It's not even about that. It's just like, wouldn't you want to look in the mirror and feel good about you? Wouldn't you want to, want to walk outside and know that you put the best effort to yourself, and that helps with you mentally? You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people that go through depression. I've had depression before where I just didn't feel like getting up or doing anything. But I forced myself to get up. I forced myself to get dressed. I forced myself to do my hair and try to make myself presentable. And that really changed my attitude internally for that day, at least, made it a little bit better for what I was actually going through. So, I just be wondering why so many black women choose to leave the house unkept, especially people that are parents. Like if you want to be young and goofy and you ain't got no kids that you representing, and I guess you want to leave the house like that, I mean, that's your right. You know what I'm saying? That is your privilege. That is something that you have the right to do. But it's just kind of another thing when you leaving the house a hot mess, and you got your child coming out looking a hot mess as well. You got your child looking unkept as well, and you just don't care about it. And she's talking about the airport. I know at the airport people like to be comfortable and stuff like that, but Instead of wearing pajamas, you could put on sweatpants. Feel me? Instead of wearing house shoes, you can wear flip flops and sandals. Instead of wearing a big popcorn bonnet, you could put on maybe a presentable headscarf or a presentable hat or something that's more presentable. So if you never know who you might run into, especially with the ladies that travel back and forth that's trying to potentially build their brand, their reputation, their career, and your networking and stuff like that. Say you come in town, right, to network your brand, okay, and you're going to the airport, you out here in pajamas, you out here, and this is for, because a lot of times people think like, oh, black women, we don't have that much going on, but there's a lot of black women out there as entrepreneurs and everything else that has a reputation, you know what I'm saying, and you want to make sure you represent yourself the right way when you leave the house. You out here trying to build a brand. Why are you going to the airport in Hello Kitty's, Hello Kitty pajama pants and a bonnet, and you ain't even got a bra on, but you know what I'm saying? Like, why? You don't know who you might run into or who may spot you and recognize you. I know a lot of us have to wear face masks now, but for the most part, everybody that I've seen wearing a face mask, I can identify them even if I'm not hanging out with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell because I know their exterior, I know how they look. So it's interesting seeing so many people basically say, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to, walk out the house looking a mess. It's not a big deal." And you really don't know who you might run into when you leave the house. And like my mom told me growing up, and she told all my sisters, is that we always want to make sure we leave the house looking clean, presentable. You know what I'm saying? Not leaving the house with our hair undone. You know what I'm saying? If it's not done, getting the right hat or garment or scarf, not bonnet, but scarf to style it up and make it work. I know sometimes us with black people and black hair, sometimes it's a struggle for us to really keep our hair up. Sometimes, water get on it get real, tough and stuff. And some people don't like their natural hair. Me personally, I like my natural hair. I don't um, mind having my natural hair. Is the reason why I decided to grow dreads. But for the ladies out there who struggle to keep y'all hair in order, you know what I'm saying, who feel like y'all not pretty without a weave and stuff like that, y'all got to start working on y'all self-esteem and really start learning how to deal with the style of hair that you have and make the best of what you have. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's so many ladies out there who feel like, oh, well, my hair, I ain't got my weave in my hair, so I'd rather wear a bonnet. Like, girl, like, come on now. And this is triggering to another thing, which is the amount of low self-esteem that black women have, you know, and oftentimes it comes from them um, dealing with black men and stuff like that, or how they be treated in the community by the men in the community, or just how their own mothers and sisters treat them growing up. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it's a thing where you have to really look inside of you and know that you are attractive in regards to your own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, no matter where you go, somebody's gonna think you're cute. Somebody's gonna think you're ugly. But if you leave the house on whatever scale that they view you as, with a presentable hairdo, with presentable clothes, you know what I'm saying? It's less for people to say. It's less negativity that's brought upon you, and also it helps you feel better internally. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people. I've seen a post by Tokyo with Tokyo Vanity. She made a post basically saying that a reason why some of these women leave a house like this is because they're depressed. And yes, okay, depression is real, especially in the black community, with the things that black women consistently go through, you know what I'm saying, and how they're treated oftentimes. Hold on, I think my microphone is acting weird. Give me a second. I have my microphone acting weird, y'all. See, this is why I got to come on here and make more money, because I need to give me some new sound equipment. But anyways, there's so many black women that's out there that's going through depression because of how they're treated in the black community, which leads them to make these decisions like, okay, let me get my ass up. Let me just walk out the house, not wash. Like, it's just, do you want to be looked at as the person who didn't shower that day? Let me just go a little deeper, because I feel like a lot of black women, that see this, they're probably saying, don't judge me. But I noticed as me, as a black woman and being around a lot of black women, is that black women, sometimes we have a difficulty accepting criticism, and it's positive criticism for us to really be our best. You feel me? And I feel like, if maybe we can restate it in a better way, some of y'all will be more likely to take heed to what Monique is saying. You feel me? Like, see it like this for all the moms out there. Would you want your child, and this is just like, I know some people might be okay with their child coming out the house looking a hot mess, but as a mother, would you want your daughter, your child, your baby to walk out the house with crust on their face, with like, drool and stuff on their face, looking like they haven't been washed, crust all in their eyes, boogers all up in their nose, Kool-Aid stains on their t-shirt? You feel me? When you see a kid like that, what does it make you think? It makes you think, man, they're in love. Who's taking care of them? They're not cared for. And that's pretty much the equivalent to when a black woman walks outside in pajamas, slippers, and a hair bonnet. It gives the vibe that you're not cared for. It gives the vibe that you're unkept. It gives the vibe that you haven't bathed that day. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many different options that you can choose to style yourself. Even if it's a lazy day, you can put on sweatpants. Ain't nothing wrong with no sweatpants. Ain't nothing wrong with a regular plain t-shirt. A little bit of I don't know, chapstick, so your lips ain't dry, and just a simple ponytail, or just putting on a very decorative hat or scarf or something that's going to make it seem like you actually care about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's an extreme. It's an extreme out here, man. I travel a lot, like I told you before, and I see that, and I be just like wondering, like, yo, like, what is the deal with this? Like, is this a new fashion statement? Like, is this a new fashion statement that black women want everybody to think that we're on? Is that we don't care about ourselves and we don't care what y'all think, so we just gonna leave the house looking a hot mess? Like, you don't want, like, even if you're not trying to attract attention, I know that sometimes, like, when black women come out the house and they're dressed a specific way and they're overly, I guess they're dressed a particular way, men have a tendency of not knowing how to act, and it's annoying. The attention that they give can be a bit annoying, a bit creepy, because some of them could come off predatory, very, just very, I don't know, overly sexualizing when it comes to like women and stuff like that. Very predatory, like very just creepy, and that makes women not want to dress so sexy. It makes women not want to show off their chest. It makes women not want to wear certain shorts, because sometimes black men in general could just be so overly sexualized and so forceful to women that they don't even know, that it can make women not want to look nice. It can make women not want to dress nice. It can make women not want to leave the house in a particular fashion, because they don't want to be sexually harassed. They don't want to be, draw a lot of attention to themselves. But in the same instinct, I get that. But you can still cover yourself up with wearing a scarf, wearing a hat, wearing, a presentable jacket or something that's going to make you still look presentable in society, without drawing attention from those who you don't want attention from. You know what I'm saying? But coming out the house, in pajamas and slippers, it just makes you look like you stink, like your booty stank. You ain't got up, you ain't washed your butt, you don't care about it. You just gonna, and people like, was she talking about people that go to the airport? Nah, she said she be going around the world outside of that. And me personally, I've experienced that, especially up in the area where I live at. It's a ton of women in this area that just don't seem to care about their looks. They don't seem to care to, put any effort into themselves. They leave the house, they look a mess. They have bonnets on, they looking like they just rolled out of bed. They look dusty. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes we go through stuff mentally, like I said, going back to depression. But if that's the case, if black people could spend money on dumb stuff like Jordans, that's $200-$300, that's buying hair weave, that's $100-$250, paying hairdressers to this, and this, or whatever they're spending their money on, you could try to put some money to the side if you feel like you at the point of depression where you just don't even care to have any type of foresight of wanting to get up and wash your ass and put on a different outfit, or put on the actual, clothing for the outside. Like, if you want to be in your house with your bonnet on all day, every day, do it, mama. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you decide to go out to your car or whatever, okay, do it. But it's like, when you're going on a trip, you're going across the country, you're going across the world, you're representing us as black folks. And it just would be nice if y'all kept yourself more upkept and just try it. That's basically what Monique is trying to say. And I feel like every time Monique says something, people just try to bash her, you know what I'm saying? Try to go in on her and make it seem like she's a bad person. And really, what Monique does is she represents the truth, man. She says a lot of things that none of y'all would dare to say and y'all are afraid to say. And when it comes to men as well, there's men in the black community. Like, just as the black community, I just want to say, black folks in general, y'all got to do better with y'all hygiene. Y'all need to start doing better with looking like y'all cleaned y'all ass in the morning. Men out here, y'all need to start shaving. Stop looking like you musty and dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's this thing out here where people saying that they're going through this like natural movement and stuff like that, but it's nothing cute about you coming out the house looking like you haven't shaved in 10 years. There's nothing cute about you as a man coming out the house with cotton ball and crust and dried out hair. Like, look, if you know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm natural myself. I got dreads, but that just because you got dreads, that do not mean that your dreads should be walking around looking like they're on a struggle dust tip. You feel me? You ain't got no type of moisturizer. You ain't got no type of oils. You just coming out the house looking a mess. And like I said, if that is the reason why you're coming out the house looking like that, is because you're depressed, try to get some help. Try to reach out to resources. So many different resources out on the internet, out on the web, that you as an adult, you would have to be responsible for your own mental health. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of times we like to play the point game when it comes to mental health, and people be like, yo, like, is this person's fault that I'm not well, or this person's fault? But as an adult, once you take that step out into society, this world doesn't care about you. So the only person that's really going to care about you is yourself. And even your kids, they care about you, but they don't know what you're going through as an adult because they're children. You feel me? So if you feel depressed like that, where you feel like you just want to be walking around the house, walking outside of your house, looking musty, looking like you ain't showered in days, coming out the house with pajamas on, coming out the house with hair bonnets on, coming out the house looking unshaved, coming out the house with your hair looking dried out to the T, just coming out the house just looking like you stink. You need to figure it out, man. Figure it out. And if you, as a family member, see your family member or your female walking out the house like that, you need to really talk to them and let them know what it is and be like, hey, babe, I think you're amazing. I think you're beautiful. I just want to know, are you okay? I don't think that you should be leaving the house not looking unkept. You know what I'm saying? I think that you should make sure that at the minimum, this ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Try to figure out exactly why your sisters, your cousins, your mama, why your girlfriend is or your wife is choosing to leave the house like that. And also your husband as well, because I'm talking about black people in general. If you see your husband coming out the house looking like he hasn't shaved in 20 years, he looked like he hasn't kept himself up in a long time, approach these guys and ask them like, yo, why are you out the house looking busted, dusted, and crusted? Are you okay mentally, spiritually? Like, what's going on with that? A lot of times we try to address things with people, directly. They'll try to say, oh, you're being judgmental, you're this, and this. But that's the problem. That's the reason why the black community is where it's at right now, is because none of us talk to each other. None of us really communicate with each other our concerns in regards to the way that black people present themselves physically, and ask them how they're feeling mentally. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much deeper than just Monique saying, oh, don't leave the house looking like a hot mess. It's a thing where black people just in general don't want to hold each other accountable. And if we all hold each other accountable for our actions, whether we choose to leave the house looking like looking a hot ass mess, whether we have people that's out here that's gang banging and causing destruction. A lot of men out here, they be causing destruction, killing each other and stuff like that. We need to start, really holding people accountable and start checking our own, so we can do better as a community and do better as a people. And I feel like that's basically what Monique is saying. I don't think Monique is saying something to make black women feel bad about themselves. I think as black women, we have to start caring more about ourselves and loving ourselves more and start putting effort into ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Whether we're having a good day or a bad day, just try. Like, even if you feel like shit, stay in the house, but don't come outside, in your pajamas. Like, if you feel like you're depressed and you want to go outside, try it. Put on some sweatpants, put on a headscarf, put on a hat, just try to put some effort into it. That's all she's basically trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But, this is just, my personal thought on the situation. I really don't think that Monique was wrong. And of course, she came back with another video basically addressing all of the people who was upset with her was saying what she said. And she has no regrets on saying it, and I don't think like she should, because a lot of y'all love to call her auntie, oh this, auntie that, auntie that. But what do aunties do? You know what I'm saying? They check the young and they get the kids in order that their brothers and sisters have. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to sit here and be having fake aunties and all this other stuff, don't be mad at her if she come out and be that auntie and tell you about yourself. But anyways, I'm going to give y'all her other video, whatever, of her readdressing the situation for a lot of people that's upset with Monique for saying what she said and her just doubling down on what she said. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like she was wrong. I feel like, we as black people in general, no matter who we are, whether we're men, women, and in between, we are all representations of each other, and we should try to do better and feel better. And if you see someone in your family, you see a friend coming out the house looking a hot mess, you should possibly check on their mental state, see how they're actually doing. You know what I'm saying? Because there has to be something bigger than them just feeling like, oh, it's a bum day. There should be no reason for you to just leave the house. And some people I've seen, people on the Breakfast Club and stuff like that talking about it, and they're like, the airport and stuff like that, people got to go to sleep when they're flying. Yeah, you could do that, but you can put on some sweatpants. You could put on like some flip flops. You could put on some sneakers and a t-shirt and just something simple and plain without you just looking like a hot ass mess. Now I'm going to play the other video by Monique, and I want y'all to hear this as well. And if you guys are just new to the channel and you guys have an opinion on it, go ahead and leave a comment. This is something different. I usually don't do lives like this talking about stuff on my podcast, but with my channel growing, I've just been experimenting every day, putting out various videos and just seeing what the audience can adapt to. So let's get back to this Monique thing, and then I'm going to talk more about her response to y'all going in on her having an opinion. You feel me? Like I don't know, man. It's just it's tiring. Here we go.
I've been thinking long and hard about what I'm going to say this post. Because the post that I did Friday in reference to us being the best us that we could be, it rubs people wrong. But I want to share this with y'all. And there were two people in my life that, had I taken a different attitude, I could have felt like they was rubbing me wrong. But I'm glad I took the attitude of appreciation and gratitude as an attack. That was Patty Bell and Margaret. Patty Bell had to tap me one night when we were ready to do a show, and I was in my feelings over some shit. That woman had to come tap me and tell me to get myself together. And she didn't tell me with our kisses and pancakes and ceremonies. She told me what really I was grateful for that night because it impacted my life. Miss Margaret, I was grateful the night she called my dressing room and she said to me, baby, focus on getting some more than one life because I see what you're doing. And I'm glad those two women love me enough that they would go out of their way to talk to me in a way that aunties, mamas, big sisters talk to their little sisters, nieces, grandbabies, daughters. I was grateful for that because it allowed me to think about things differently. Never once did I think those women were trying to be offensive. Did I think they were trying to be nasty or mean? I thought what it was nothing but love. So for you babies that have taken offense to what I said, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with y'all when y'all say we will cancel your ass. Well, they tried that. And I'm sitting down here to let y'all know I love you. And ain't nothing we can do about it. I love our community. And ain't nothing you can do about that. So if you're offended because I said to you, you're a queen and you're beautiful, and when you wear that damn bonnet and your pajama pants and your slippers anywhere you go, don't you know you love you? Don't you know you love your beauty? Let your beauty be seen and shown. See the light of time and praise Him because it didn't want us to wear our natural hair. It didn't want us to do the things we wanted to do with our natural beauty. Now, why ever we get body? Why ever we get body? So I'm unapologetic about what I said. Because I said it with nothing but love. I said it with no judgment. For the sisters that got it, I'm glad. For the ones that didn't, I'll wait. But please know, Nikki, right here. When I gotta talk to you again, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do my part. And if I gotta tap you, it's a love tap, baby. It ain't no tap for me to kick your ass or be smart. Because some of the responses y'all have given, I just know that y'all are young ladies. And you don't know any better just yet. But because I do, I won't match your energy. What I will do is love us through. So please know, I still stand by what I said. And to the women that has tapped me out, I'm grateful and forever appreciative that y'all took the time out to love me when you didn't have to. So I hope for you babies, the one that leave your little comments under the Bible, say whatever you want to say, at the end say, I love you. Hey, my sweet babies.
Yeah, so you guys heard that, you know what I mean? And like I said before, I agree with Monique. And I could see that, she's not trying to hurt anybody. She's just trying to tell black folks to start coming out the house looking a hot damn mess. And particularly, she's talking about women, leaving the house. But in general, as black folks, we got to start doing better. We got to start caring about our presentation. We got to start, hey, what's up, Redheads? How you doing? We got to start caring more about our presentation. We got to start caring about ourselves, you know what I mean? And I know that there's a thing where in the black community we don't talk about mental illness and stuff like that, but if you are going through something mentally, there's suicide hotlines, there's mental help lines, there's so many different ways for you to be able to get the help that you need, so you don't be leaving the house looking like you just don't care. You just rolled out of bed and just kept it pushing. It's just bothering me that so many black women um are so stubborn and non-receptive to constructive criticism, especially when it's coming from another black woman. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's older than majority of these people in this generation who's complaining about the stuff that she's saying. All she's saying is like, stop leaving the house looking like you ain't washed your ass in the morning. That's pretty much what she's saying. Like, you should start, like, if you get up in the morning, even if you didn't wash your ass, at least try to give a presentation that you cared enough to put on something outside of what you slept in that night. Stop walking out of the house with bonnets and stuff like that on, and stop wearing your pajamas out in public. I mean, and when you come out the house in your pajamas, that's going to also add on. Do you even got no bra on? You just out here just thinking everything swinging and stinking, and you want people to just be so proud of your presentation. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the women out here that's mad, it's like you're saying, I'm doing it for me, but you feel good leaving your house looking like that? You feel good? I don't think none of y'all really mentally feel good when you getting up in the morning and you just walking out the house as is. That's giving a sign of some type of mental illness. That's giving a sign of some form of depression. And also, for the women who is leaving the house like that and they're in a relationship, you need to sit down and reevaluate your relationship, because there's no way that I would be in a relationship, okay, and I see my girlfriend get up and she's out walking outside looking a hot mess and I not say nothing about it. That lets you know that the person that you with don't give a damn about you, let alone themselves. That's just what it is. I know that some people be like, oh, well, they don't know. They just got up. They live by themselves. They want us to leave the house. But I mean, there's friends. You got boyfriends, girlfriends. You got all different types of people that's around you. It takes a village at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a girlfriend or even a boyfriend, because like I said, this isn't exclusively to women, because I see men coming out the house looking a damn mess too, and you are not telling your spouse that they look a hot ass mess and ask them what's going on with you. Are you okay? Because physically you're not looking too good. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like black folks in general be so stubborn and so. Hold on, I got a thing here. I agree. We have to take better care of ourselves. It's signs of low self-esteem to walk outside your house any kind of way. You look the way you feel. Exactly. That's all I'm saying, Redheads. It's like you look the way how you like. You really, literally look how you feel. And that's pretty much what Monique is saying. A lot of these black women that's on here, let's be real. There's so much mental illness in the Black community. That's why our community is the mess that it is right now. That's why there's so many people out here being killed and murdered and shot and everything else. Women getting beat up and abused. I mean, we don't want to talk about those conversations though. Why are these women leaving the house? Because they're not being properly loved by their boyfriends. They're not being properly loved by their husbands. They're not being properly loved by their girlfriends. They are not being properly loved spiritually within themselves. You know what I'm saying? And when you are literally basing your happiness off of other people, you're never going to look good. You're not going to want to wake up and shower sometimes. You're not going to, but if you do have that day, keep your ass in the house. Keep your ass in the house. You know what I'm saying? Or call a friend and try to talk to that person and tell them the thoughts. If you feeling like you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, call a friend, talk to somebody. And if you feel like you're at a point where you're not single, because some people are single, right? And they so used to being single that they don't care about how they look leaving the house. But if you're in a relationship and the person that you're with is okay with you walking out the house looking like you haven't showered, looking like you haven't washed your ass in the morning, looking like you just don't give a damn, you're walking out of the house in pajamas and house shoes and slippers and bonnets and you know what I'm saying, just clothes and blankets all over you, yeah, something's not right. Something's not right. I would never let my girlfriend leave the house like that, period. That's just what it is. And if I see any of my male relatives out there looking a damn mess, I'm gonna say something to them like, yo, bro, like, why is you looking like you ain't washed your ass this morning? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's the point. Like with Black folks, I know that we come from the gutter. I know that we've been through a lot as a community, but it's like you said, our confidence has been lowered so much that at this point, us as Black people, we think it's normal to just look any kind of way. Look any kind of way. And then if you say something to them and say, yo, why do you feel like it's okay for you to walk out looking any kind of way? Then it's, oh, y'all some haters. Hating on what? You clearly don't got nothing to hate about. Because you leaving the house looking like that? That's the best that you got? You leave the house looking fresh to death. Leave the house with your hair done. Leave the house with your best outfit on. And then tell me I'm a hater if I say I don't like your shoes. Don't call me a hater if I'm saying to you, look, why are you coming out the house looking like you ain't washed your ass? Why are you coming out the house looking like your booty stink? Why are you coming out the house? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. And it's crazy because I've literally seen men and women together as couples walking out the house looking like that. And if we're going to talk about it, let's just talk about it. Let's just dive deeper into relationships in the Black community. All right. And talk about Black men. And we're going to also talk about how you are a representation of not only yourself and the person that you're with. If I see a Black woman leave the house and she got 5 kids with her on her hip and her boyfriend comes out the house with her and she looks a hot ass mess, that's letting me know that boyfriend that she got ain't shit. And I don't know if he got mind control over her to make her think that she should be leaving the house like that, or has lowered her self-esteem to the point where she feel like she has no value of herself. But y'all got to really start paying attention to that. There is no way that you are going to be in a relationship with somebody, and when you first start talking to them, you're attracted to them because of their physical looks, especially men. They're visual creatures. They are attracted to women because of how they look before they even get their full attitude. And you're telling me that your boyfriend is cool with you leaving the house like that? That got to be because he has zero confidence and low self-esteem in his damn self, that he is too afraid for you to actually embrace your beauty and be around other people looking like how you supposed to look. And if you, I don't care how many kids you got with a person, if you are with somebody who's okay, with a man who thinks it's okay for you to leave a house like that, he has low self-esteem and he's not a man at all. Period. And I see that oftentimes. I see that when women are with men, they have the tendency of sometimes just locally outside. Oh, you ain't going outside in that. You ain't doing this and that. She can't dress how she wants to dress because now you're in a relationship. But when she was dressing how she was dressing before she decided to get with you, that was okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's deep. You know, it's depression. It could be a bad relationship. It could be, mental. It could be, mental abuse, domestic, emotional abuse, physical abuse. And it's a thing that so many things that black women go through that they don't want to acknowledge. That's the real reason that they're walking out the house in pajamas. Are you walking out of the house, out of your house in pajamas because you're afraid that your boyfriend might want to beat you up when you get home? Are you afraid that the person that you're in a relationship with, because there's, we have lesbian couples and stuff like that you're afraid that your girlfriend's gonna want to whoop your ass because you came at the house looking too cute and people are giving you attention? Like, there has to be some type of jealousy going on in a relationship when it's to the point where you are okay with your girlfriend leaving the house, the more feminine person leaving the house looking like a hot ass mess, and also the masculine person as well in the relationship, whether it's a man or a woman. Why would you want your significant other leaving the house? They're a representation of you. Y'all represent each other. So how you gonna? And I've seen situations where it was like unequally yoked, where the woman came at the house looking terrible in pajamas and a bonnet, and the boyfriend looking fresh to death, and he ain't said nothing to the girl. Hey, whatever. You don't give a fuck about her. There's no way that I would be letting my girlfriend leave the house like that. I don't give a damn. And people say, well, yeah, when women try to get dressed up, they have to have weaves. And no, you don't have to have weave. I don't have no weave. This is my natural hair. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have weave to look good. You don't have to have none of that. But you do need to, like, at least look like you washed your ass in the morning. You do need to like literally change your clothes from what you slept in the other night before. You be all rolled over, burping, farting, all this. You know what I'm saying? And you just gonna get up and go walk out the door in them clothes that you've been sleeping in all day? Like, and nobody care? Your boyfriend don't care? If your boyfriend don't care about you leaving the house looking a hot ass mess, then he shouldn't be your boyfriend. If your girlfriend don't care about you leaving a hot ass mess, she shouldn't be your girlfriend. Period. And vice versa. Because it's just too much of that going on in the black community where y'all think toxicness and supporting toxic activity is a good thing, especially in the person that you're in a relationship with. You feel me? That's just me. Me personally, I don't think us as black people hold each other accountable enough. I don't think us as black people really hold each other accountable enough for stuff like that. For leaving the house looking a damn mess. And I see it too often myself. Monique is a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? So she usually is more, she's ingratiated in the general public, but she's also distanced from the general public as well. And she see it. I see it as a regular person on a daily basis. And when you try to tell these things to black women, it's a problem. Why is it a problem? Who has really messed up your self-esteem since childhood where you think somebody saying, baby, you need to look a little bit more presentable and embrace your beauty is a bad thing? That lets you know that you've been around ain't shit people your whole life. Or somebody has really misraised you and really taught you that being and looking a hot ass mess is okay because they are jealous of your beauty or the beauty that may shine with you looking presentable. You know what I'm saying? That's just more so what I'm trying to say. Because I know, like, in the beginning of this live stream, I more so was like, just saying in general, like, but just digging deep into it. Who the hell wants, like, I just can't. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can't tell me or convince me that you as a black woman like to look a hot ass mess on purpose. Y'all don't like looking cute. Y'all spend all this money on everything for your beauty routines when it comes to your hair, when it comes to your nails. You spend all these money. The men out here, they spend all this money to impress people with their cars. They spend all this money to impress people with their sneakers and shit like that. But y'all telling me that y'all can't do something that's literally free 99, which is, for the most part, free 99 is taking a bar of soap, washing your ass, changing into some sweatpants and a t-shirt, and brushing and combing your hair. That's just part of proper hygiene. You don't want a bunch of gnats and shit in your hair from the day before. You don't want to be walking out the house looking at a damn mess. Like, I don't understand why us as black people just swear people's hating on us. And also going back to the naturalist, as you can see, I am a dreadhead. What's up, Andre? Let me see. I got another comment on here. Andre, good. What's good? How you doing? I hope you hit the subscribe button. It's nice meeting you. But you don't want to leave your house looking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a dreadhead. I'm all about, embracing African features, Afro this, yes, Black power. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there is ways to style your natural hair. You shouldn't just be waking up, just not giving a fuck. Or if you get dreads, you just say, fuck oil in my hair, fuck washing my hair. unless it's a religious purpose, because I'm not ignorant. I know that there's a Rastafarian culture that basically tells people that you're not supposed to wash your hair, you're not supposed to this, and this because of your religion. But if by all means, majority of the black people in America do not have dreads because of their religious belief. So there is no reason why you can't clean your hair, clean your dreads, put some oil on that shit. And if it's a little rough, follow my instruction to put a hat on that shit until you can get your hair twisted. Like, there's no reason why there's so many black folks, and I'm talking about black men and black women, coming out the house looking a damn mess. And then they want to say, oh, I'm trying to look like this rapper or that rapper. And no disrespect to J. Cole, I don't know if this is religion or anything like that, but he looked like a hot ass mess. And a bunch of dudes been trying to walk around dressing like him. You know what I'm saying? Looking like they're unkept, looking like they're unclean, looking like they ain't done that. And I don't know the man. I'm not trying to judge him, but reality hits. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't do what he do. He's an entrepreneur. He's built his brand as a rapper, where if he want to leave at the house looking like he ain't washed his ass, he's going to be good. You, on the other hand, it's a totally different story. It's a totally different story, especially if you're trying to sell something to somebody or send a brand. Do you really think, as an entrepreneur, because I feel like there's so many black people that talk about entrepreneurship, would you buy something from somebody who looks unclean? Would you invest your money into somebody and trust them in what they're selling to you if they look like they haven't taken care of themselves in the morning? Let's just be real. Let's just be real. If you seen one of the people that you idolize coming out here looking at, and I don't idolize any human, but I'm talking in general, that you idolize, you see that person coming out there looking a mess or not presenting themselves that you see, are you going to keep supporting that person? If there's no, and they're purposely doing that? No. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, black folks, y'all gotta do better, man. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of black women walking around looking a hot mess. I'm tired of their boyfriends supporting them coming out the house looking a hot ass mess, with their kids coming out looking a hot ass mess. And then they get mad with somebody like Monique. Half of these celebrities don't give a fuck to even talk to y'all. Like, for real. Majority of them don't care. And if you really think that it's cute for you to walk around looking like your booty stank, okay, looking like you ain't washed yourself, I'm sorry, but somebody mishandled you. For real. You know, that's just what it is. That's just how I feel. You know? And I hope that this live stream sparks a conversation in people for them to really think about that stuff, to think about, maybe I need to look inside myself. Maybe I am dealing with possible mental illness. Maybe I am dealing and I'm in an abusive relationship where my boyfriend don't feel like I should embrace who I am outside of these pajamas and outside of these rags and outside of these bonnets and hip and slippers and house shoes I keep taking my ass outside in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I don't be understanding it. And I notice that too, like sometimes with black women, when they get in relationships, when they're single, you know, they come out the house, they look presentable, they look very pretty, they look like they're trying to catch a man or catch a female, whatever they're into. Then once they get in a relationship, it's just like, fuck it. Let me just look a hot ass mess. Like, come on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Come on now. We could probably talk about this all night. I think I've been talking for an hour. You know, it's going to be a lot of black women that watch this. His feelings are going to be hurt. There's going to be a lot of black men on here who egos are going to be hurt and touched because they're that man or females as well. Like I said, that's going to have their feelings hurt with me talking about this stuff on my podcast today. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You know, it's kind of like the saying, you are what you eat. You know what I'm saying? Or you ugly. If you're ugly inside, you're ugly outside. Like, the way that you present yourself, first presentation is everything. You know? And us as black people, we got to start paying more attention to that. We got to start trying to at least care enough about ourselves to comb our hair in the morning. You know, to grease our scalp. To wash our ass and change clothes before we leave the house. You know? And I don't give a damn if you go into Walmart. Walmart is like the biggest place for that. All these black folks coming in looking like they literally just walked out of bed. They look like, and a lot of them be stinking too. Like, that's why, you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm glad we wearing face masks, because I ain't got to smell it no more. You feel me? Like, y'all got to start doing better, right? For sure. For sure. But yeah, that's my little bit of rant. And I know it's gonna be somebody on here commenting below, you're being biased and you're just talking. I'm talking the truth. I'm talking my truth. Now, if you're okay with your children walking out the house looking unclean, if you're okay with your wife or your girlfriend or your friends and mamas and sisters walking out the house looking unclean and unkept, if you're okay with your boyfriends or brothers and stuff like that walking out of the house unclean, well, be proud and be funky about it and enjoy. And I guess this video may not be your cup of tea. But at the end of the day, this is a serious problem in the Black community. It's like a damn pandemic at this point. And I know what a pandemic is, that is a disease that's affecting the world globally. But I really feel like hair bonnets is really starting to affect the Black community. And men walking around looking like they haven't shaved in 150 years or literally greased themselves or their dreads in 150 years. It's starting to become a pandemic. And, Black people, we got to start doing better. Because when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you are good. You feel me? You know? But yeah. Anyways, I want to say thank you guys for helping to grow this platform to where it's at right now. We are literally inching in, and I had a video of mine go viral. It's pushing over 42,000 views this week. And that's like my voice commentary. And it's very hard building this platform. There's so many different people on the internets that come on here. And they're afraid to, be introduced to inspired me to keep pumping out new shows and have more discussions about certain issues and things of that nature. Whether it's one person watching, whether it's 100,000 people watching, I'm going to keep uploading and making videos and experimenting and seeing what my people like. I got some more interviews coming up next week with a couple of upcoming artists that's doing pretty well out in the charts and stuff like that. But yeah, check out the entire channel. Like I said, it's a podcast, and work with me. I'm still under construction. When you build in your YouTube channel, you got to figure out what your people like so you can keep growing your audience and then start bringing new stuff to them. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now, But I want to say thank you to everyone who has made a few of my videos go viral. You know what I'm saying? Takes a lot of time. And I'm probably going to come back on here. I think I use all three of my notifications on here, so I'm probably not going to be back on here tonight. Hopefully I'll be back on Saturday or Sunday or something. I don't know. I might be recording some more stuff. But I really just wanted to come on here and address it and really just encourage Black women to start embracing their beauty and really just trying to put more effort into their looks, along with Black men embracing their handsomeness and putting an effort into shaving and greasing their face and greasing their hair and combing their hair and brushing their hair before they leave the house, instead of going out looking like who done it and why. Now, if you guys are upset with me, that's because I hit a nerve, and I'm not upset about that. And if you are in a relationship with somebody, or your relationship, ladies, with a man who thinks it's okay for you to leave the house looking a hot ass mess with your kids, or you just by yourself individually, even if you don't have no kids, and he's not saying, baby, what is going on, are you okay, you're looking like you're looking like you're not going to be smelling right or whatever, you might be in a mentally or physically abusive relationship, and I really encourage you to get out. On that note, I'm going to go. Hopefully we can come back on here. Like I said, I've been experimenting. This live stream was an experiment for me. This is my first time like really using this platform subject to subject. I want to see how my podcast doing this type of live stream and bringing my ass more on camera for you guys. And we're just going to see, because building a YouTube channel is hard. And when you start to get videos going viral, you got to keep pumping out videos so you can start building your audience up. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. And hopefully, we can really build a community around this podcast. And if you guys don't know, this is the DJ Jericho podcast, where I talk about entertainment news, gossip, and much, much more. And we discuss things that goes on in the urban world. I will be putting out more voiceovers. I drop a lot of voiceovers, because a lot of people like that when you're just talking subject to subject. So that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of starting to do more podcast subject based versus it being me just putting out an entire podcast. I know some people that's here from the beginning, they're like, live streaming, just talking subject to subject. And that's because I just want to see exactly what's going to attract the new audience, which is going to bring more people in. And then I may go back to my old format once I have your trust as viewers. Then we can try to go from there. But outside of that, I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. I'll see y'all real soon. I'm off of here. Much love. Peace.